Oh. Ready?
Jesus out.
All right. I'd like to call this meeting to order. I want to welcome everybody to May 16, 2023 meeting. The official time is 6, and if I could get approval of the agenda at this time.
So moved.
Second.
Second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Commissioner Kitchens, you want to do the honors tonight?
I will, sure, Chairman. Thank you. That was on me off guard a little bit. If y'all will, pray with us, please. Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for all you provide for us. We thank you for the love that you give us. We thank you for all the blessings that you provide for us. Lord, we especially appreciate the opportunity this week to celebrate all the law enforcement folks, those that put their lives on the line for us every day. We don't know what we'd do without them, Lord, and we just thank you for blessing them, blessing us with them. Ask you to continue to bless them and their families as they go about their work. Please bless this meeting tonight, Lord, so that everything we do is pleasing in your sight. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll sit on that.
Thank you, Commissioner Kitchens.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, the first thing on the agenda, we have a point for board appointments. We have appoint Shana Buckus to the Jones County DFAC Board, which will be replacing Miss Frances Roberts. I get a motion to
Motion to approve, Chairman.
Second.
second. Any discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All right, we got the HPC Countywide Board appointment. Have we had anybody come forward? Nobody? We're still looking for an appointment for that one. We'll keep reaching out until we find an appointment. All right, we move on. Consent agenda and approval of minutes. We had the first Tuesday of May 2nd, along with the executive session and a call meeting on May 4th. Y'all had an opportunity to review the minutes, and if so, I entertain a motion.
So moved, Chairman.
Second.
Second? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
I don't have it. All right, new business. Law Enforcement Proclamation Week. Tell you, I'm very honored to be signing this proclamation. I'd like to invite the Jones County Sheriff's Department up and the representatives and our full board out front and do this properly. We can read this, but I don't know. I just like the idea that we can sit here and talk about it, tell how much we appreciate you. Each and every one of you, I tell every time I see you how proud we are of you, how much we appreciate you. How many times I tell y'all to be very, very careful. It's these young people who came up and answered the call, and you put your lives on the line each and every day for everybody in this room and this whole community. The sheriff has done a great job. We're proud of him. And like I said, I'm very proud to sign this proclamation of law enforcement. Anybody want to chime in on that? Mr. Martin?
I appreciate the fact that I live in a safe community where my house, my cars, my family, and all the other important things are taken care of. And people know when they come to Jones County that do right or go home.
When you speak that you're from Jones County, there's two things that stand out. That we've got a great sheriff and a sheriff department, and we've got a great school, and I think those are hand in hand, so thank y'all.
You want to go ahead?
Well said, and we appreciate the sheriff and all his staff and their efforts to keep our community safe and nice place to live.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody around us knows
That's it.
you're safe in Jones County.
Yeah, don't come to Jones County. Bad guys don't come to Jones County.
They know where the county line is.
That's right.
Exactly. But we want to thank y'all and present this, by the entire board together. Y'all want to come up for a picture?
The short ones are going to be on the edge
Who's
over here.
going to get this from me? Go ahead and hold that one. There you go. Thank you. You know this board got y'all's back.
Thank y'all.
We really do appreciate all that y'all have done. I've worked in other places, and I can tell y'all, it makes a gigantic difference knowing that the community has the back of the sheriff's office.
You got your back to it. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Thanks, Wes. Thanks. Good job on the, EBT.
Hey, now.
You do what you can.
All right, move on to new business on number 2, the beer and wine license for special events. Ms. Johnson couldn't be here tonight. Just for input of the board, is that, the city has done something very similar to this. And is this something the county wants to look at for future events, or what y'all's thoughts?
Absolutely.
So, what we would have to do if you all are interested is, do open container ordinance that, based upon approval of the board, you would allow open containers, at county-sponsored events. And so, I had, reached out to to John Newberry and a couple other locations, and an interesting idea for the county to also make money off of it, if you all decided that you're interested in that. What the city did, this past event that they had, was designate special cups. And I'm not sure if it had the city logo or what it had on it, but it was certain cups that vendors that were already approved to sell beer and wine, they had to sell out of those cups, and they bought the cups from the city. And then the city made money off the cups and then had a percentage of sales. So it's one more sort of stream of income off of an event of that nature, if that's something you all were interested in. But it would be through an open container ordinance that would sort of allow it just for specific events. And each one of those events you all would have to vote on and approve for it to be allowed.
I'd be fine with that, something similar to what the city had. Two caveats for me, I think, is, I'd be hesitant anything that we're deeming as a family function, and we're inviting specifically for kids. I don't think that's the right, appropriate place for it, but I think it has its place, and so us being able to vote on each event kind of gets us to that point. When we were thinking about it, or read it on the agenda, we talked about, or thought about, we've got a couple of county locations within the city limits, so we would make sure that, and I'm thinking about Carroll's Park or the Knox Center or something like that, if we had an event there, I would think that we would allow the city to make those approvals within the city, partner or however we need to do it, but I just don't think we need to, I think we need to be good neighbors, not overstep our bounds on stuff like that.
Any thoughts, Commissioner Wood, any thoughts on that?
I agree with Sam. I had a conversation with a lady the other day about this, and if it's deemed a family event, I'm going to use 4th of July for an example, I would like to stay a family-friendly event. And there would be other times where adult beverages could be used for other events.
Sure.
I agree with you. At the family events, I don't want to. I want it to be a family event. I don't want it to be coming to have your drinks, and I want it to be a family event and everybody to leave there safely.
Commissioner Martin?
Sounds good to me. Long overdue.
Well, if you want to lead this off of the next step on having a ordinance to allow this, we can
Well,
move.
and let me ask you this real quick, if you don't mind. So the event that we would be sort of under the gun for me to get the ordinance done and approved would be the July 4th fireworks event.
That's a family event.
Okay, so we are not looking to have it at that event.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's, I think everybody's on the same page about
Yes.
family events. There's times and places for that, and, the cities, had a great, it worked great. I was there, and, everything worked out great. And I think the county can, we may never have an event that come forward, but at least we've got it in place if need be. So, we're just one step away from a motion.
If you just want a motion to postpone it, when I get the ordinance drafted for your review, I can ask Shannon to put it back on the agenda.
I make a motion to postpone it until we get an ordinance created.
Second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Thank you. Commissioner Kitchens, we've got a low-speed vehicle ordinance discussion.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. So it appears that we don't have, well, since we don't have anywhere in the county that would really lend itself to low-speed vehicles, and we're talking about golf carts typically, there's a lot of cities and counties around the state and country that are adopting ordinances for that. But we don't have an ordinance for that because in my opinion, we really don't have anything in the county that would lend itself for that. But the problem it creates for us is we have residents in the county but since we don't have an ordinance, we don't tag them or title them in Jones County. Well, that restricts them from being able to use them outside of Jones County too. If you take them to a state park, or you take them to a beach or somewhere that requires them to be tagged and titled, the only place you can tag and title them is the county that you live in. So I wanted to see if we could get our attorney to figure out how we could allow those low-speed vehicles to be tagged and titled here. Not saying that we're going to open, because I don't think any of us are looking to see golf carts on Gray Highway, but,
Well,
you know.
there has been one.
well, I'm not.
There's Daylon on his bicycle. I'm
Because it's a vehicle.
I'm not advocating for an ordinance for golf carts to be allowed on roads in Jones County, because I don't, it's just, we don't have the place for them, in my opinion. But, so I'm advocating for them to be able to tag and title them so that they can utilize them wherever they're allowed.
I also spoke to John Newberry, attorney for the city, regarding this because my thought was if this were sort of allowed as far as tag and titling in Jones, that you've got some streets in the city that it may encourage people to then utilize that form of transportation. And so it may impact the city, whereas we really don't have roadways that it would impact us. And he said he felt like his board would be in favor of it, but had asked that it be something that he'd be given an opportunity to sort of discuss with the board, and the ramifications. And then he said, when's the next county city meeting? Can we just discuss that? And I said, I don't know that there's one on the books, but so I think he's just going to mention it to the board, and then I can start working on tailoring something for the county. You want to postpone it as well?
Can I just, how many do y'all see on the roads? Law enforcement? I'm asking the law enforcement.
Golf carts?
Yeah.
Not too many.
I mean, I notice a lot going from the Pines over to the
Yeah,
rec
well,
department.
That's kind of the biggest area that we see, which is still in the city limits, is
Right,
my neighborhood in Piedmont, and then the Pines.
Yeah.
Going over to the 18 ballpark.
Yeah.
But I do think if that was open, to be able to utilize then places like Ben Axel, Chevy's, and all, we kind of cater to that.
I know Friday night football games, I see a lot of the golf carts moving toward the stadium, so I think that we need to look into it.
It's, part of that problem is going to be, though, people accessing roadways they should not be on in that type of vehicle to get to areas that are allowed. So,
Because under state code, it's limited based on the speed limit.
right.
Right.
And once you get shortly outside of the city, we're hitting 45-mile-an-hour speed zones where those big vehicles. So it's really limited to a small area.
Can I ask go ahead.
It may be something that the county and the city want to look at adopting the same sort of, I could work with John, the same ordinance so that it's very clear, city or county, what's allowed, what roadways, what types of vehicles, what's required.
So question, do we have to allow them on a road to be able to tag and title them?
No.
Because I mean, honestly, I think our sheriff and our chief of police handle low-speed vehicles now.
Right.
I don't think, I mean, I'm not advocating to change that at all.
Right.
Just to be able to tag and title them. If somebody wants to address an ordinance to allow them on certain roads, I think our sheriff has his staff use discrepancy on, if it's in a neighborhood that is not out on a main road, they're probably not running them down to give them tickets for going from neighbor house to neighbor house. I don't see that there's an issue with that, so I don't want to create an issue with an
Sure.
ordinance, I guess.
Right.
I would rather just see a way to tag and entitle them, and then if we have areas that need it, then address that then.
And I can, if the tag department's not clear on legally which ones qualify, I can send them along.
So if you own one, do you have to have it tagged?
If you want to put it on the roadway,
But not if it's,
if it's just riding around your yard, no.
Next question, doesn't it have to have turn signals and stop lights just
Yeah,
like?
there's a lot of seat belts and a certain type of windshield and,
It raises question too, the legal question of the insurance, as far as liability insurance and medical, if it's, whatever's required to be on a highway to have a tag. Because with the tag office, they verify insurance before issuing a tag. So it's another question for the legal. Sorry, I was asking, as far as the legal question of tag office verifies insurance before issuing a tag. So that's more questions for legal in other jurisdictions, to see what they're doing around the state.
and I can reach out to Brian and see if he knows sort of the ins and outs of the requirements, the seat belts and the windshields and all that. And if not, I'll send him the sort of legal requirements for him to be able to do that.
Need a motion to postpone for,
So is the motion to postpone, or is the motion to move forward with allowing tagging and titling of the vehicles? 'Cause
Whatever you want to
I'm
do.
not asking them to,
just tag, you just tag and title?
for an ordinance, yeah.
Okay. Which one you want to do? You gonna make the motion to tag and title, not an ordinance?
Motion to allow tagging and title for low-speed vehicles based on research and recommendations from the attorney.
We have a
Second.
Second. Any more discussion on that?
And why do you say they're not currently just doing it?
And I think it's because we've never had a reason to, because now that more people have them, and they're being allowed more on the beaches and the state
Right.
parks and stuff like that.
Like if I took mine down to Panama City, it's gotta be tagged.
And I understand that from the beach, because if you've got 15, 16-year-old kids on a golf cart and something happens and they pull them over and there's no tag, there's no title, there's nothing, and they jump off, or if they just give you bad information, you got no way of identifying where that vehicle
Sam
was.
knows from experience that that could happen.
And if you drive them off in the pond, they will come looking for you.
And that's
So I hear.
Any more discussion? None, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Ayes have it, okay. Before I start on department heads, what?
Beer and wine.
What I do? Beer and wine.
Shannon's got one.
Keep me straight. Yes, ma'am.
I have a beer and wine license application for Vicky Deason for the Gray Food Mart on Gray Highway, and everything came back fine on the background check. So I make a recommendation to approve.
We've got a recommendation, we have a motion.
Make a motion to approve the beer and wine license for Vicky Jensen.
We have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
Second. Any more discussion? None, all in favor, aye?
Uh,
I have it, all right. We have Austin Scott's representative here tonight. We want to thank you, Mr. Ruart. Is that correct? Is that, all right. You're always welcome, and we appreciate Austin and everything he does for us. City of Gray's hiding in here somewhere. Mayor Pro Tem, you want to give us a city report tonight? Oh, yeah, well, you can talk into the microphone. You got to You're having to carry out, you're gonna have to carry the torch from the,
They can't hear me from the row in front of me, so. I just briefly wanted to give an update. You know, of course, I'm sure many of you know, Mayor Barbie went in for a minor procedure week before last on Thursday, and unfortunately had some complications. Has been in the ICU since, but he is making a solid recovery. He's headed in the right direction. He is up in a chair as of yesterday, and I think all of y'all will join me and the city in praying for a speedy recovery for Mayor Barbie. And also, I wanted to give a big shout out. As many of you know, we're very honored to have Ruth Barbie as our First Lady of Gray, and just, you know, wanted to share this with you because a lot of it's not seen by people, behind the scenes kind of stuff. With her husband going through all of this surgery with complications in the ICU, one of her first thoughts was to let me and Cindy know so that there was no issues, or if there was an emergency in the city, that the city was not left behind or left unattended. And just how thankful I am for that. And I said, you know, she's got a lot going on, obviously, and you know, I wouldn't have blamed her if her mind was obviously elsewhere other than that. So I hope we all say an additional prayer for Ruth, you know, for her strength during this time as well. So thank you all for letting me just bring you up to speed on that
all
tonight.
right, thank you for coming. Sheriff's Department, got any reports tonight?
All is well, we're just getting ready for our kids to graduate next week.
Woo-hoo. All right, department heads. Do we have any?
I see none.
Any department heads here?
No
None.
department
Except for the
heads.
one beside you.
Wow, I will say that it was brought up for the fireworks display. Did we help last year on some of the,
Expenses.
I'm sorry?
What's the date of the fireworks?
Hold on.
Wendy will know.
We don't have any
Just go to the
department heads to
Facebook
speak.
page, thank you.
No, I think, did we not help out
We did.
We
last
did.
year? Is that something we can,
I thought we created a line.
That's out of our fundraising account that we
Okay.
had. So I think we have some annual donations from sponsors, I think Morris Bank and
Alright.
maybe a couple of other ones. So I think that was the fund that we've been using. And I mean, I don't think we've used anything else out of it this year, so we should
okay.
have some funding in there.
There was a question asked if we were going to be able to help again. I told them I thought we would, but I'd bring it to y'all's attention tonight. You know, it was a great success last year, and it,
Awesome.
Bert
Oh.
just texted me.
June 29th. Thursday, June 29th,
June 29th. Is that-
7 p.m. at the Morris Bank Complex.
Bert just texted me, he said 6,000.
okay. All right, so they are watching. Good deal.
He said we were planning on giving the same amount as last year.
All right. Good deal.
That's good. And we're going to have the professional folks doing it, right? Good.
All right. Any citizens like to come forward tonight and speak? No citizen comment? Sure, come on forward. Just introduce yourself and let us know where you live.
I'm Stephanie Parker, and I live on Plenitude Church Road.
Yes.
And I just want to say just a little bit about the LSV versus a golf cart. There are many differences. It looks just like a golf cart, but there are differences. And an LSV has a VIN number. So by the state of Georgia, it has to be tagged and titled. And yes, you do have to have vehicle insurance on it as well. So I just want to thank Sam for everything that he's trying to do. We've had the LSV since the beginning of March. And we've had difficulty back and forth with our tax commissioner trying to get it tagged and titled. So I appreciate anything that you guys can do to help us in that direction. And we're not really looking to be on the roads in Jones County. That's not why we purchased it. We did purchase it for, vacations and different places that we know that we can take it. But it does have to be tagged and titled for us to be able to drive it in those locations. So thanks for y'all's help.
Hey, we thank you for coming. We'd love to see you again.
We'll be here.
All right, thank y'all.
Thanks.
Any other citizens? Reverend, come on. Yeah, if you'd like to, that'd be fine. You wanna do ladies first?
She criticized.
Uh,
She looks better. I know you was talking about the vehicles, Pastor Green, the vehicles that go-karts. And the only concern that, because I'm just thinking, going across the road, that's a hazard. How you gonna handle that?
We're not authorizing them on the road at all.
So they can't cross from Pine?
Nothing changes from what they can do right now.
We're just getting them to where they could be licensed if they take them out. Just, the young lady was telling us the difference between the golf cart and.
Right, right.
What's the,
No big deal. Yeah, I just know somebody said they can go across to the.
You see a lot of them.
Yeah.
Just
They come
watch.
across the road, yeah.
Just watch around, you'll see them.
Oh, okay, okay. So that's not a hazard then?
well, no, that's the sheriff and the city police.
That's their problem, okay.
That's their problem.
They do a good job of policing it. You know, you might see a side by side come from across the road over here from time to time if I, in a quick hurry and somebody needs to.
Are you telling on yourself?
Oh,
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm about to kick him over here.
I was looking for cows.
Okay.
He was using it for agricultural reasons.
It's an agricultural vehicle, that's right.
But it's not
It's
allowed.
agricultural, so it works that way. Any other citizens? I tried to, you know, to do the ladies first, and you saw what it did, didn't you?
Good evening. My name is Evelyn Hill, and I live in Hatta. And I'm here this evening because there's a concern about Haddock Park. I have talked with Bert from, Park and Recreation, about the concerns. We have 2 swings and 2 slides and a basketball goal in our park, and that is it. We had a larger slide, and they brought in a smaller one on last week. We have 2 sets of swings. The larger swings have 3 baby swings and not a regular swing on it. The smaller one has 1 swing on it. So we just want to know if we can get some more playground equipment in the Haddock Park, or how the money is allocated for the parks, because we feel like we have been slighted. I mean, we appreciate you all coming out and cleaning up the walking trail, because that was a concern several months ago. But if you rode by there and that's all you saw with 2 swings and 2 slides, I know there's more playground equipment than that, and we want our share.
Yes, ma'am. I was actually in the Haddock Park today.
So you know.
And I agree with you.
Okay.
There's needs in that park for additional equipment to make it more usable, to get more foot traffic from the neighborhood and for whoever in Jones County would like to use it. I spoke to Bert about the swings, and he was making repairs and acquired the materials today. Should have the swings repaired by the end of the week.
Okay.
But I spoke with him and Jason's out tonight. We're going to talk with him and Levita and see if there's any splash money that's available to purchase additional equipment for the Haddock Park. And that way, playground equipment that would spread it out in the park, maybe some benches, picnic tables, additional to what we already have, but get some other playground equipment for kids and kids of all ages to use, like bigger swings and things.
So didn't we have playground equipment for Haddock Park?
I thought we did.
Have we gotten any of the, have we gotten any
I
playground
don't think
equipment
it's,
yet?
it hadn't been.
All right, so
There's
it-
one new piece that's been put in there, but it's not enough. It's very, we got one new piece, I believe, in Haddock Park that's
I think
partially
there's
installed.
more, there's got to be more coming.
It's,
So
I do
y'all
hope
looked
so.
at a whole package.
right.
Yeah,
But
we ordered,
That's why I'm thinking, when you said this, I'm thinking,
Bert just texted me, he said it's in, so I imagine it's just a matter
Oh,
of getting
okay.
So
time to
there's new
install it.
equipment that the
A
board
lot
has
of-
already purchased and approved.
For
It's
this
just-
year.
yes.
It has to
Okay.
be installed.
Because we're concerned with the kids getting out of school.
He said there's no more coming.
He said there's
Two
no more.
He said
bigger?
there's no
Two
more
bigger
coming.
swings by Friday is what, is to
No new
repair and,
equipment is coming.
so.
We need a confirmation on what was actually
Right.
ordered.
Installed?
we ordered
There's a,
49 and Haddock, I
Yeah.
thought.
I thought it was for,
Liberty.
Liberty.
We split it.
there was
Yeah.
all 3 parks.
All
Yeah.
3
Yeah.
parks, yeah, that's right.
So we can
We see
expect,
so much, you bear with us, you know.
okay,
Yeah.
so we
We're not-
can
we're not
expect
together,
some
but you-
playground
Yes, ma'am,
equipment
you
in the next,
can.
very soon.
Working to improve.
Does it have
Let
picnic
them get-
tables?
Before we
I think
Is
we
there
have-
promise
picnic
something
tables?
that We don't know exactly what's been installed and what's still,
Well, a slide set was installed last week.
What there is what we got besides the mulch and border.
I think the new equipment's already been brought out, and they've got to finish up the mulch and the border.
That
But
was
I'm
the
saying-
slide that they put in last
Right, and
week.
we need
right.
additional equipment for Haddock
Yes.
because it's
Bare.
We got
it's
another
bare.
budget session coming up.
Right, and there's things he and I talked about as far as I would like to see the restrooms open at least daylight hours, if not 12 hours a day, and have either a timed lock on it where it's not available at 3 o'clock in the morning, but it is available for children during the day, but have the restrooms accessible where people don't have to rent the park, but they can come and play and enjoy the
Send
park,
it to us,
but be
too.
able to use the restroom and that sort of thing.
And we could possibly use a couple of more tables under the pavilion as well.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, well, I'll be coming back and forth
I
until we
hope
get
you
it.
do.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Hill.
Thank you for
Thank you,
coming.
thank you. Anyone else tonight? Who wants to start commissioners tonight?
Come on.
Yep.
come to the
One more
front.
citizen.
Oh, come on forward. There you go.
My husband reminded me, so
What'd you
I just
forget?
want to say one more thing about the LSVs. Because it's a requirement of the state to be tagged and titled, we had to pay state ad valorem tax, county ad valorem tax. So you guys are missing out on the tax right now. And then, of course, having it tagged, there'll be a little bit of revenue, every year when we have to renew the tag. So anyway, just
Hey,
revenue.
thank you again. No problem. Anyone else? No one? Mr. Kitchens, you want to start us off tonight?
Well, glad we talked about the fireworks show. That's, glad we're gonna do that again. Community-wide cleanup this Saturday. I had to bring it up so she could go show off her little bitty trophy over there that's fixing to get taken away from her. Y'all look at it where it's at now, 'cause, by next week, it'll be over on this side of the shelving, so. But if you have not signed up, it's all over Facebook. It's on our county website. Get the QR code, click on it, sign up, get trash bags, grabbers, gloves, whatever we need. And I put this on Facebook the other day. If some people have called and said they didn't have a way of transporting the bags to the weigh-in site, let us know if you have that. Put them on the side of the road. If nothing else, I'll come by and pick them up. I'm gonna count them for District 1, but I'll come pick them up if ever we need to. And very glad that this is Law Enforcement Week. I think it's Law Enforcement Week every week. Again, so proud of our Jones County folks and Gray PD that keep us safe. Again, I don't know what we would do if we didn't have the law enforcement we have here, because I've been in other communities where it's not as robust and not as aggressive as we are, and it goes to show when you can sleep good at night. So thank y'all for everything you do. God bless you. Please stay safe.
Commissioner Wood?
I appreciate the citizens coming forward tonight on various subjects and talking to us and sharing with the board concerns around the community. I want to bring up and challenge all of Jones County that we primarily have a volunteer fire department in our county, both city and county. We have a few paid people that work in the county fire department, and the city is fully volunteer. But I want to challenge everybody, talk to your friends and neighbors. We need volunteers for the fire department, and who knows whose house they may respond to. It may be yours, it may be your neighbors they respond to. But it is a need in this community for volunteers.
Yep, thank you. We want to thank Austin Scott's office for, you're welcome every other Tuesday, every first and third Tuesday, and tell Austin we appreciate everything he's doing for us. City of Gray, we appreciate Mayor Pro Tem filling in for Mayor Barbie. We miss him. He's always a breath of fresh air, but we're glad he's got a good backup to keep him going. And I love to see this room full. I wish we got more room for seats. Yeah, thank you. Come on. That's what we want to see that. I cannot tell you the number of times we've had citizens come forward just like tonight and tell us things that we didn't have a clue of. We didn't know what's going on in Paddock. Wouldn't have known about playground. Now, Commissioner Woods got a good handle on it, but the rest of us need to hear that. Maybe we put to Church Road about the carts. That's stuff we need to hear. And we need it, it's a public meeting. That's what I tell everybody. That's what we're here for. That's what it's open for. You've got the opportunity to come and express anything you want. But we thank every one of you.
Graduation is next Tuesday night in Milledgeville and not Central Georgia, at Georgia College and State University. So y'all remember, if you're thinking about being out on the roads, don't be on Highway 49 and Highway 22 because they'll be packed. But wish the class of 2023 years of success. Take what you've learned from here and move on. Also, ribbon cutting for ranchers is May the 19th at 2:30. That's exciting too. And just thank you to, of course, law enforcement, but last week was Nurse and Teachers Appreciation Week, and we all know that a lot of those carried us a long way, teachers and nurses. So I thank all of y'all. But as far as for me, I am looking so forward to this morning being able to say on the radio, one more Tuesday for school, driving that school bus. So
But you got all summer off, so what do you do?
I work year round, thank you. My drivers have an all summer, I don't. But much needed rest for a lot of us in education. I know Ms. Hill out there will agree with me. There's no tired, like somebody in education tired the last week of school. We tired. So, and I do thank y'all. We are still looking for some of those committee seats to be filled, so we're search for us, okay?
Can they send me a copy of it or something like that? I also was gonna see something.
We'll
Are you on our email? You're on our email?
I don't think so, my brother, I don't think so. I am.
Okay. Well,
It's WEGJG at iCloud.com.
Okay.
got it?
Yep.
All right.
You want to know?
Sure.
WGREENESENOR
Okay.
He just has had more letters than he, we in competition all our lives. He wants more letters than I got.
Commissioner Martin?
Convey the same sentiment. I think as everyone, we're appreciative of law enforcement. Without question, our teachers and nurses, because without them, it's a difficult path for all of us, I promise you. I'm glad that the boards are being communicated. I think I asked some time ago to list them all out on the website and any vacancies so people can readily see what's available. And probably a description of what the boards do in their duties and when they meet, because a lot of people just don't know. And there's some great opportunities to make a difference. And I want to thank Bert for coming out to the state track meet. He's been at district and state, representing the county very well. We took our kids up to state and they did pretty well. It was a hot day, but they performed well, so we're excited about it and looking forward to the next season. And beyond that, just appreciating, again, our employees that keep us running, because without them, there's no county. So thank you.
I just want to give a shout out to Jason's not here tonight. He is enjoying Washington, D.C., so I called to check on him a little while ago, and he says he's at 20,000 steps, and they're not done for tonight yet. So,
Good deal. Well, if there's nothing, so you're gonna step up for the public work.
No, this is for 4-H.
Oh, I thought you were gonna come up here for public works right at the last minute.
4-H had a state shoot Saturday.
yes.
Yes.
Jones County come number one.
Yay!
That's great. I remember when they just about didn't have a shotgun team, and they started behind my house, and then the bypass come through, and the Frasers picked it up.
We started on the landfill.
Then they couldn't do that. That's when they
Then
just about did
APD
away
put a
with it.
stop to it, and then we had to find somewhere else.
Yep.
We've been several different places.
Yeah, but it's great.
Keep up the good work.
Teaches those young people, safety and everything else. Like I said, I've watched the program and it's needed.
We had 40 kids shoot Saturday.
Wow.
So,
No more. That's great.
Awesome.
Jones
Are
County
they giving
took-
lessons? Are they giving any lessons? I need some lessons on how to shoot it. I had shot a shotgun, so
You can become a coach. Get with Brandon. Brandon,
I got to have somebody coaching me.
they will teach you how. Trust
He
me.
would be fired the first day coaching them kids that are hitting 25 out of 25. You ain't gonna coach them, are you?
No. Commissioner Vaughn, we need to go into litigation tonight, so if I can get a motion to adjourn for executive session for hopefully a quick litigation.
I make a motion to adjourn to executive session for
Second.
litigations.
Second, all in favor, aye? Thank everybody for coming.
Yeah, we're done.
It happens.
And y'all behaved, I'm proud of y'all.